G'day viewers. There's been a lot of talk lately where people are complaining about being taken out of context when they get public shellacking. Usually they say they were making a joke, and usually it was on Twitter. And I think this is worth exploring, not least because of some of the weird shit people say about me. And look, here's my take on what's in and out of context. Just as a sake of definition, when someone quotes you in your entirety, it's very hard for that to be taken out of context. Not impossible, but very hard. So when someone comes up with their pithy little Twitter taking the piss out of someone, or making a low joke at someone else's expense, or doing something just that uptight people have trouble dealing with, that's not so much being taken out of context. It's more a case of someone being mouthy because they want attention, who then can't handle it when the attention turns away they either weren't expecting or can't deal with it. You see, usually when I piss people off, I mean to piss people off, and I no longer give a shit who I piss off. To be fair, people often are quoted out of context deliberately, and the people doing the out of context quoting know they're doing wrong. They know they are in effect lying. They are deliberately lying by omission. Like when they quote the first half of someone's sentence and not the second half. Or they quote one chunk out of an essay or a book and pretend that's the whole book. Particularly when they know if you take it in isolation, it can actually have the opposite intent to what the person intended. Now, that's pathetic, but that is also life. If you want to put yourself out there, you have to be prepared for people to tell lies about you. And with the sort of things I do, it would be absurdly easy for people to take me out of context. I mean, it's one thing when people are just flat out lying. It's another thing when they're looking at what you're actually doing and not liking it. Like, I can barely contain my hysterical laughter when someone makes a big statement, AngryAussie's mean and abusive. Wow, you noticed, fucktard. But when someone deliberately takes something out of context. Now, this is not by the way of me having to now apologise for something, because I'm not particularly aware of someone taking something of mine out of context deliberately. I'm aware of people deliberately lying about me, and I'm aware of people having pissy little bitch fits about something I said that they seem incapable of dealing with. But it would be insanely easy for someone to misquote me. One that springs to mind, I did a whole series of videos on dealing with bigotry online, and more or less to get people's attention, at the start of the first video in the series, I hurled out every racial epithet I could think of, just to make the point, you can say those things if you want, but you need to take responsibility when you do, not be a little bitch when you get called out. I know I can say, as I said at the start of this video, something like, fuck all you niggers, wops, dagos, chinks, Jew, motherfucker, camel, jockey, fag, bastard, hags, and anything else that I haven't insulted. I can say what I want, and I can say what I want, but I can choose to not be a complete dick if I want to. And yes, feel free to say I don't choose that often enough. I don't mind, okay? But this all comes back to the whole thing of people saying, oh, I was taken out of context. When they're not. They're quoted in their entirety, but they just can't deal with the fact that the negative attention that they were trying to stimulate got a bit too full on for them. Maybe threatened their job, or even lost them their job. And now they're whining that they're being treated unfairly. Boo fucking who? If you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen. And if you can't stand the backlash, don't be a big fucking loudmouth in public. I'm a big fucking loudmouth in public. Bring whatever you've got, bitches. I can take it. But, like, okay, someone can take my videos out of context. Even the comments in the characters, like, the videos in their entirety. When people don't get, it's a performance. It's a character. They think that's me. Now, me, the real me, doesn't give a fuck if you're offended by anything I do. But if you're stupid enough to believe that is me and it's not a performance, I don't care. So when people say, oh, you should be writing for the paper, or you should be on TV, anyone who hired me would either implicitly or explicitly be endorsing the things I do. So they'd have to be prepared to take any heat. And I said, not just for the things I mean to cause heat, but for the people being dicks as well. I mean, people could look at, the comments and say that, that's really what I was like. And I was like, that's part of the character. I really go someone when they're stupid enough to leave a dickhead comment. I could just imagine, I got some media job and then some conservative talking heads going, you're a horrible person. Look at that comment you wrote there. That's awful. You should be off air. And I went, what? The comment where I said, thanks for the support, you're awesome too? No, not that comment. The one under it. Oh, the one where I called the guy a cunt and said I wanted him to die in the gutter, choking on his own shit. See, that's context. You have to understand the context in which I placed that comment. See, it's the internet. It's not real life. It's the internet. It's a bit of a Wild West type of thing. And if you don't understand the context, I can see how you can misconstrue that. Because really, although I typed, you're a cunt and I hope you die in the gutter choking on your own shit, what I actually meant about that guy was that he's a complete cunt and I hope he dies in the gutter choking on his own shit. That's the context.